I shouldn't tell you this, but were you just trying to get out of here or what? So I charged her $25,000. How you like me now? Oh, the solvers, they always do the same thing with my hand on this board. So, you know, sometimes you just got to trust the computer. Nothing personal, just business. Now it's time to finish strong.
Do it all now, top corner light. All in, lit the fire when you doubt it, now I'm all in. Put me with the best, bring the stars in. Undefeated mode, no falling.
All right, good morning, peeps. We slept here last night. This is going to be the gear for the day. Brought some different shoes. Still Creative Rex. I like that brand, whatever. This is going to be the main event jacket, I think. I like it. It's comfortable. We got a little Rocky t-shirt underneath. Drove in last night, which feels like it was definitely the right decision because I woke up, you know, relatively, whatever. It's already, look, it's 11:36. I got to go. You know what I mean? I got to, like, have a normal routine in the morning. Otherwise, I would have to wake up earlier, you know, get ready to drive on down. That's a lot. So took a look at our table for today. I looked them up. You know, there's one guy with a nickname or whatever, which we'll address next year for people because I know a lot of people complained about that this year. We'll take a look at it next year, fix it. Yeah, I don't know any of them. I looked at all of their like results, and so there's nobody here that looks, well, I'm not gonna be mean, but I'm just gonna say nobody looks scary. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna do what we gotta do. Get ready for day 2 of the WSOP. It's the main event. Still got a little of that, huh? We're gonna do some Advil, sinus, and cold, just to make sure. You know what I'm saying? Mornings and nights is when you feel it most, but I'm not so bad. It's not gonna affect my play. Actually, the Advil, sinus, and cold, I shouldn't tell you this, but it makes me play better. Where's my water? I got my, okay, is the cap on? Is the cap on? Yeah, GC water. All right, before we start, quick pit stop in the room. Make sure I got a stock of the good stuff. Where my good stuff, man? Oh, here we go. Shh, don't tell nobody. This is my secret weapon. Okay, we got some of that. We're gonna brew the coffee over here. One of these Nespresso pod deals. And the other thing I was gonna tell you is really good news. Hopefully it sticks. You know, every room in here, this is funny. The middle room that I almost never play in, that has the big fields. I don't know if it's called the Providence or whatever. The one with all the banners of the player of the year. That is for me, that is the best room in the whole thing because AC always seems to be. I've never ever been too hot or too cold in that room. So knock on wood, we're over there today. Hopefully we stay there and, you know, avoid, I mean, listen, we gotta go to the TV table, we gotta go to the TV table, but I think they're doing a good job this year of not forcing people to do it for too long because I promise you, ladies and gentlemen, you know, hey, cool, you're on the TV table, but no, it's not fun. It's a disadvantage to say the least. Not only in showing your hull cards, but in addition to that, you know, heat adds up. It's hot lights. It's like, you know, it's just a lot more, you know, draining when you play up there. So 2 hours we can handle, but after that they rotate. That's fair, don't you think? I do. Oh, okay.
Hey Dan, can I get a real quick?
Yeah.
Man, good luck. Good luck, brother.
No. We friendly table. Nobody bluff. Everybody play good. The table for the day. Dun. Here we go. All the way around the table. Here we go. We got a fellow Squid Game guy. We're in the same jacket as me right now. This is the room I was telling you about. This is the Grand Ballroom. It's my favorite by a long stretch. Hey, buddy.
Hello.
Here we go. Huh?
Oh, yeah.
Homework time. No, it's not mine. It's just they use me as an example. See? Danielle, that's how you do it. All right? My man over here doing his homework. Looks like we were going to one of the feature tables after the break.
Check.
Yeah, just put that. Uh-oh. You know what? You're going to be in the vlog now in your hair. Your hair's a mess, right? You look in the back. Oh no, look. Everyone's gonna see. Hundreds of thousands of people gonna see. Look, you woke up, you forgot to fix this part.
Yeah, something like that.
Don't worry. Don't worry, it's okay. Good call she made earlier, by the way.
Amazing.
Pocket kings. 3 kings. I didn't call clock because it was her tournament life. She needed it.
Thank you, appreciate that.
You got it. All right, 148.9, end of level. We're going to the TV table, but first, let's go to the steam room. Let's talk a few hands from the first level. All right. Level 1, a lot of hands, a lot of interesting spots, or kind of. So let's start. The blind, we're playing 4 and 800 limits. The Asian lady, I can't remember her name exactly. She raises to 1600 min raise. I'm in the cutoff with 6-9 of diamonds, and as I told you, these are the kind of hands I expand my calling ranges with. I wouldn't do this in a high roller, you know, or if we're shorter on chips, so I call. The button, he raises to 6K, she calls, I go ahead and call. Now the flop is 9-6-5 spade heart. So I flop top 2, checked over to the button, he bets 11K, she folds. And now my dilemma is, do I want to play, he's got a lot of chips too, he's got more than me. Do I want to play a really, really big pot now? Not really. He's the type of guy who re-raise it. He could have like 7-8, you know, he could have stuff. Not that I'm really worried, but I am thinking, okay, if he's got an overpair, we're gonna win some money, but let's think of stack protection where, you know, if a 5 comes on the turn, you know, we're dead pretty much. So I just call. The turn is a 4, check, he checks instantly. River is an 8, so now there's a 4-liner out there, a 7 makes straight. Like I said, he could have one, and I wasn't sure how to size this one. I don't know that I love this size, but I chose 13K. He called, and apparently he had 2 kings. Next hand, same player that had the kings, makes it 1600. The cutoff calls. I'm in the big blind with 8-5 offsuit, and I call. Flop is 8. So it wasn't the same player that raised 1600. It was the Asian player, the guy. The flop is 8 of hearts, 6 of hearts, 8 of clubs. So I flop 3 8s. It gets checked around. Turn is a 5 of clubs. I've got the full house. There's 2 flush draws there. I go for 2500, hoping to get some action. The guy who raised calls. Now the river's the ace of clubs. So again, another difficult decision here. I'm not worried about, I mean, I'm a little worried, you know, he could have aces, but not that worried, you know. Question is how much to size it. And I go pretty big here, all things considered. I bet 11. Tanks for a while. He makes the call. All right, this one's a cool one. So this one is where like a huge deviation. Player on my right is an old gentleman, you know, quite old, very straightforward, you know, just has like really big hands when he raises and stuff like that. So here's an interesting one where he's in the small blind, big blind is 8. He makes it 2500. What do I look down at? I can look down at ace king. He's got about 55K left. I mean, I could get it in, right? Nah. Not on my watch. I just call, okay? Crazy, I know. Flop is queen 3 deuce, check. Cool. You know, turn is a 6, brings backdoor diamonds. He gets 2, he goes 2K. Okay, I take a card for 2K, maybe has the same hand here, stuff like that. I call. River's a jack of diamonds, backdoor flush. He checks, I check. He turns over 2 kings. So that feels like, if you think about that, and you think about how to deviate, right? There's no GTO sim that's ever going to lose that little. No chance, right? You deviate in the main event, you play the player, not the, you play the player all the way through, and that's what we did there, and lost like a teeny little bit.
I am number 1, not number 2. If I'm not the one, I'm uncomfortable. See the competition.
All right, here we are. Moving over, they're miking up the players. You gonna mic me up?
Yes, sir.
Mic me up.
Of course I am.
All right, let's go under t-shirt because you never know.
You know the deal.
Back to Negreanu stable here with the
Same with yours.
Squid Game attire. Poker, a game of life or death, obviously.
3,000.
Great, 3,000.
People loving it so far. Yes, we are live. 60K starting stack for those asking. Please make sure to stay locked in here on the YouTube feed. We appreciate you all for hanging out.
Please give me the heads up when you.
And the structure of this tournament, I just cannot, you can't mention it enough. I mean, even now, over 12 hours into play,
Yep.
starting stack is still 60 big blinds.
Well,
He told us he would give us 2 hours of his time on the stream, so I wonder when that's going to be.
I'm hoping it's the 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. slot. Cabral, by the way, was walking back and forth. You saw it last night. I don't know what for. I don't know what he was doing. When we finished last night, I went over and I was railing Sean Deeb, good friend of mine and just a great poker player. And Cabral just there. I don't know. I mean, I guess just sweating his own player of the year.
I mean,
Status?
Cabral still second in the POI race.
He's his 3x. And then Elliott min raised back. essentially, I guess he could have gone to 5K, but went to 6K. So on 1K,
25.
3K, 6K. Rubinski has flopped the nuts, by the way. We've got the absolute stones in the small blind, and this could be a lot of trouble for Elliott. Negreanu
Raise.
has a double gutter.
6,500.
Actually, pardon me, it does not. But he's got the straight draw, but he to the higher side of it, and Rubinski's got the absolute nuts. So a bet from Elliott, a raise from Negreanu. Just a call.
Well,
Elliott's going to make this call. This putt now 39,500 chips.
Club.
Not a club, it's the ace of diamonds, and Rubinski not only with the nuts, but as a redraw to the flush. Negreanu can still win this with a 9, as he would have a jack high straight. Elliott drawing dead.
or you can put them like right.
Elliott bets
On
1,000.
the ground. Yeah.
He just
yeah,
bet
it's on the
2.5%
ground.
of the
I just leave
pot.
mine to the side just so they don't get that.
I mean, that's a choice.
18,000.
I gotta have one.
Oh, and he tricks Negreanu into getting active.
Never mind.
Well, Negreanu's
No.
attacking
I was like, I
what he
actually
knows
needed
is
it.
weakness,
I
but
didn't.
Rubinski,
She wrecked me. She took all my other chips.
the snake in the grass behind with the nuts. And he's going to raise, and I think this hand is over now.
60,000.
Better fold.
Seems like a good idea.
Harry Elliott out of the way, Negreanu out of the way, and Rubinski takes that down. Maybe a raise that didn't necessarily need to happen.
Back over to Negreanu's table. He made a 2,500 pre-flop. Pointer called, and then Pointer led for 2K on this flop. Negreanu goes upstairs to 6,000. Pointer made the call, and here we are on the turn.
Yeah, I don't hate the lead out by Pointer. I mean, a 7-6-3 2-heart board. That's going to favor the player in the big blind. That's going to favor their range more than it is the original Razor's range.
12,000.
But Negreanu not a believer, and this hand is likely over. Pointer, by the way, that is John Pointer, who took that empty seat. Has some chips, 240,000. And Negreanu wins a nice little pot. He's back over 100 big blinds.
Am I allowed to eat?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Enjoy. Bon appetit. All right, I got 101.4 after that first 2-hour segment. They're gonna give us another 2 hours on there. Let's go to the steam room, chat a little bit about sort of what happened that 2 hours, because it was a thematic. Me trying to bully my old buddy on the right. All right, on this break, a quick snack, a little mezcla bar. You can buy them wherever, who knows. And I'm gonna do a little nitro brew, cool me down over at the feature. So, if you've been watching the stream, probably would notice the dynamic, which is when the older gentleman on my right plays, I stretch beyond. Like if he limps, I raise. Like 6-7 off, really stretching it. So I've run into some trouble with it because behind me I'm running into some hands. So I have a very good read on him. I've raised, bluffed him on 10-8-6 ace, and the other guy re-raised, like obviously had a hand. There's no, I mean, if he bluffed that, just like hats off. But yeah, now we got a new player on my table. I have not issued a clock or thought about a clock for anybody. I'm gonna let him know. Seems like a nice kid and doesn't play egregiously slow, but you know, slower pace. I'm gonna let him know he doesn't have his. He's gonna have a shorter leash on a clock. That's all. Nothing personal, just business. Back to work we go. A lot of gifts coming today. A lot of gifts. We got somebody got us something for our dogs. You remember that wine we got delivered to the house? This gentleman brought it to table. Right?
you go.
We're
There
not
you go.
having it tonight.
All right, whenever
No,
I
but
got a
we
wine
are.
opener, I'll show you how to open it.
Oh yeah? He got a funky wine over the whole deal. Look at that. Another one on the house. Thanks, buddy. Good luck in the tournament. You too. Cheers. All right, you got it.
Yeah, the first couple of levels of our coverage have been all Rubinski. He won a huge pot, set over set. Won some smaller pots where he just, the deck kind of hit him in the face, but the set over set one was a huge one. About a 235,000 chips in that one. That eliminated Gian Q early on. And he has done nothing but win or chop it up, and he's up to 300,000 chips. Negreanu, on the other hand, not much has gone his way. He's still healthy. Blinds are 600, 1,200 with a 1,200 big blind ante. So Negreanu with a few less blinds, but plenty to work with for him. And we'll see if he can kind of spin this up a little bit. Pointer is going to call the 3-bet, so we'll see this one heads up between John Pointer and Daniel. Not a particularly good flop. Raise queen, 8s. In pretty good shape right now. Daniel started the hand with 101,000 chips, and look at that. Full house for Pointer, and Daniel's day 2 continues to kind of just falter. It can be frustrating. You know, you pick up some hands and just nothing connecting. When you do connect, somebody else catches something on you. Daniel not looking, not really incentivized to put any chips in the pot. Pointer's going to give him all the rope to hang himself, but
So
Daniel
this
too smart for
situation
that.
feels like I'm going to lose to a pair of 6s. You 6s?
No, you lose to a full house.
That too. I also lose to a full house. 6s or 8s is what I had you on.
Yeah.
But 8s is way better. Yeah. I mean, I have ace queen, so you're okay with that. Wow. 6s, 8s, okay.
You're supposed to rep ace king there.
I know. I'm not into that. Let the man take his money.
Good check.
Pick up the action here. Pointer in there with kings. Poulet with queen 10. Elliott with 8s. Don't know what Negreanu has. Mystery hand. But we've got nearly 24,000 in the pot. Not a particularly good run out for the 8s or the kings. Does Negreanu have the goods? Negreanu won a couple of hands before this. He's up to 108,000, and it looks pretty good here too. He's got the flush. Look at that. He goes 20,000.
I can't call that.
10.
And Negreanu back up to 126,000. He had dipped down to about 94.
Raise 3.
Negreanu gonna pop it up. I'm still so excited for Kerry Katz. I mean, what a moment.
Thank you.
As a poker player, as a fan of the game, you know, I certainly can understand how he feels at this moment, but I'm just pretty happy because he's done so much for the game of poker, and he loves it so much. You can see how genuinely happy he was. And to be there, you know, with his family, friends, here on this stage, just very cool. Also, the fact that we were streaming, I mean, if he'd won last night, late last night, we don't get it. Like, we went off the air and they were still playing. The fact that they came back for another day and he was able to win it on stream is really cool.
Do you play with solvers
He'll have
ever?
that now forever.
Like the internet solver? Okay. Because solvers, they always do the same thing with my hand on this board. Always. Like net without fail. So, you know, sometimes you just got to trust the computer and go 3,000. Right? Sometimes I go a little tricky with it, but I'll trust the solver. Solver says 100% C-bet. Yeah. It does. Yeah. The last time I didn't do what the solver said, it cost me in this spot. Exact same board, too.
Well, Brandon says that your ace is good.
Fair enough. Yeah. But
Solvers
100%.
are not.
Last time in this spot, oh, you're supposed to C-bet your hand 100%. I didn't. I lost the pot, so everybody's a genius. But the guy had it, so. Exactly. So, you know.
Ace was good, right?
Yeah. All right, time to pack up. Time to de-mic. Get rid of this thingy over here. We got 100,200. We're gonna head over to the break room. It is dinner time. We're done with this. We put in our time. Now it's time to finish strong. Okay, that's it. We did our 4 hours. If you watched, not a lot happened for me. The guy in the 9 seat, the Israeli dude, very splashy, right? I'm under the gun, raising. He's calling ace 3-0, just YOLO. Not 3-betting it, just calling with it. Stuff like that. He value betting very, very thin too. For heaps, for big money, stuff like that. So, a guy like him, you know, look to find the right situation, set a trap, but you got to get a hand to do so. The other hand I had, of course, was, I don't know if you saw it, but cut off raise. I didn't 3-bet the jacks because it was a little bit of an awkward stack size in the main event. I didn't really want to 3-bet get it in. I didn't want to 3-bet and fold it. So I just flatted the 2,400. The big blind makes it 72. kind of small. I'm like, all right, but this guy doesn't mess around with that stuff too much. But he could have 9s easily. He did it earlier or something like that. And then, yeah, I still got schmutz. I just took another Advil, Stannis, and Gold. And then the flop came queen deuce 3. I check call 4,500. Turns at 3. I check, he bets 10. And I think that based on previous hands, like when I had the 6-9 and stuff, how quickly he checked back turn, the fact that he bet turn, it's like, okay, maybe he's betting 10s to protect, but he's going to be too scared of the queen, the way that he plays. So I just folded jack. Didn't see what he had, but I'm guessing it was better than jacks. So a little din-din, relaxation, and then we go back to the nice normal people table, you know? That's what I like to play at.
Yeah, I'm ballin', yeah, I'm all in, been ballin'. Yeah, I'm all in.
All right, we're going back to the pedestrian tables, Phil. You know, where we can be left alone. And look at this. The junior in there with 140K?
Right next to me, by the way.
Right next to you? And you got how much?
I don't know.
You don't even know.
50? No, but then they reported I had 168. I was zooming, Daniel. I just
You were
didn't give a
zoom.
fuck.
I've seen zoom.
I was opening for 5K every hand. The line was told 5K.
Were you just trying to get out of here or what?
No, I was trying to overpower everybody. And then I flopped quads and somebody made the nut flush.
Well, hey, very nice.
Then I settled down a little bit.
All right, yeah. Now we don't have to show off for TV.
How about you, Daniel? You in this fight?
Got 100K.
Nice.
Ready to go.
Get there.
Peace.
Yeah, but 100K for Daniel's like,
Yeah, it's $1 billion. We're over here. All right, as the rail watches, they've seen we've been losing a lot of pots, or I have. And we're going to talk about one that you just beat me. Good job. I raised with ace-8 of clubs, the 3,500. This gentleman here calls the button. He defends the big blind. Totally fine. The flop is ace-queen 4, 1 club. I go 3,500. She calls. Right? Turns a jack. Check. I just check. I'm being friendly. River's an 8. I make aces and 8s, right? She bets a little bit, 5,000. I said, well, you got to pay a little more than that, right?
Yeah.
So I charged her 25,000. How you like me now? Oh, she snapped it off and had ace jack. So, womp womp. There we go. Back under starting. But you know what? We're good. You know, ups and downs of the main event. Such is life. Ding. All right, I played another fun one right here. I'll take away from zero. I got aces under the gun with the ace of diamonds. I raised the 3K. Call. Everybody call. Everybody call. Flop is king, queen, jack of diamonds. I check. He bets 5K. Call. I thought about it. I said, you know what? Let's wait. Let's see. I'm sure somebody has 2 pair or something like that. So I just call. Turns the 9 of diamonds. 10 of diamonds makes straight flush. I don't have that one. Check. 5K. What's the point of raising? You know, just call. Guy overcalls. River blank. Check. That's good news. This player had king, queen, 2 pair. The other one had 6, 8 of diamonds, so he flopped the flop. If I would have got in on the flop, I would have been behind. Instead, tranquilo, controlled, small ball, you know, don't go broke kind of stuff. But we're back in the game now. Back in the game. We're back in the game for real. All right, sometimes when you flop a straight, you have to find a way to lose the minimum, okay? My friend raised under the gun, 1,500, he made it 3,000. Call. I call the big blind with 8-9, because why not? Well, your hair looks perfect. I call with 8-9, right? The flop is 10, jack, queen with 2 hearts, 6,000. I call. Turn a 10, check, 5,000. I call. River 7, check, because my friend, he has ace king. Okay? Could have been a lot worse. What if I raised the flop like a cuckoo, you know what I mean? No. We don't do the cuckoo raise. We wait. See. Tranquilo. You know? Right? All right, we are off to the last break of the night. I got 81.5. Doesn't sound like a lot, but it's 40 big blinds. I had 45. It's plenty. Very comfortable. Very at peace. I think what I'm going to do here on the break is I'm going to get me one of them nighttime Theraflus. It's nice, soothing. I just want to knock whatever this is that I got going on out because, you know, it's a long grind, this main event. We got a lot of work to do. All right, people, there's 17 minutes left tonight. It's about midnight. I'm going to say that the good news is I got a lot of patience, a whole lot, because this last hour and a half, I played one hand, and it was King 5 of spades, just to give you a sense. And I'm not whining, I'm just telling you. I'm giving you the report. I'm insanely card dead. Like, I can't even defend my big blind with bad hands, just nothing to open. Had deuces. No, I didn't actually. That was the level before. So really just folding. We got 66K, which is 33 bigs. We're about to be big blind. They'll call for last number of hands quite soon. So hopefully this is my last big blind. And whatever. I mean, we get a hand crate. If not, come back on day 3.
I'm uncomfortable. See the competition I've been running through. Leveled up, I only see him in my race.
All right, and just like that, we're on to day 3 with 71,000, which will give us 28.5, 29 bigs for day 3. It was, let me finish this. Okay. It was unbelievably uneventful, like insanely card dead the entire time. Most of today, but I mean, I was obviously trying to get in there. You saw me with Jack 7 and 3, but once you get a little shorter on chips, you don't really have as much leeway to get as crazy, and I really didn't have anything to work with. So 71K in the bag. Tomorrow we'll probably just drive over to the doctor, day off. Maybe we'll play some World Wide Web poker, or I don't know, maybe we'll go home, maybe we won't. Tonight I'm gonna sleep here. I don't want to get Amanda sick. It's kind of a big deal. So I don't need to do that to her. So I'm gonna sleep here, and I don't know. We'll figure out a plan for tomorrow. Peace, y'all.
I'm winning, get buckets from the court side to the nosebleeds. Yeah, they love it. I'm winning, get buckets from the first